This is Big Johnson. Today we're going to be removing a factory spoiler from a 2017 Mustang GT Convertible and replacing it with a GT 350 track pack carbon fiber spoiler from American Muscle. These are the tools we're going to need. We're going to use a heat gun, some string, some adhesive removal wheel, some rubbing alcohol, possibly some glue, a drill bit, some pilot drill bits, a riv nut tool with some riv nuts and some studs in them, Allen wrenches, trim removal tools of all sorts, non-marring, steel rule, marker, 10mm socket, long extension, short extension, ratchet, Loctite, adhesive promoter, 3M tape, and some epoxy. The cardboard's to mix the epoxy on. The popsicle sticks is to mix the epoxy with. That's the tools you'll need. And we're gonna disassemble and remove the old spoiler and keep it intact in case we ever want to put it back on. And we'll start on that here shortly. Okay, what we got to do now is take the trim off. So what you do is you unscrew these, which are bumpers. You take this off, which is the latch clip, latch assembly. Then you take off all the trim clips. I think there's like 9 of them. Then you take these grommets out. You release this harness here for the light and the camera, and you take this harness out right here, which there's a slot for it. Then you drop the trim down and get it out of the way. Then you get access to the bolts for the existing spoiler, and we're going to do that now, and we'll film it. And I just draw a blank. If y'all wonder who my trusty sidekick is, this is my brother-in-law Adam. He's here to help. Because when you're doing this spoiler, if you had some help, that would be great. Yeah, I probably need a trim tool to get this off too. Slide it up to the hole. Real combination to get this off, it snaps off or what. If there is if it slides one way or the other or pops off or what. I don't want to break it. Okay, that cover here just snaps off it's very easily. You just got to put a little pressure on it. I didn't break it. So there's 4 bolts you got to take out for the convertible. It may be the same with the coupe. There's 2 here, 1 here, and I'm going to shine my light in here so you can see them. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 here. What I'm going to do with my ratchet is I'm going to take a piece of tape and put over it, and it's going to help capture the nut. That way it don't fall down in the car. And I'm also going to lean the deck lid down, and we're going to use a magnet too to magnetize the socket to help promote it to stick in the socket even more. So we're going to do that real quick and see how that. Now we got the 4 bolts removed. The only thing holding the spoiler on is the adhesive, and we're going to tape around it with some blue painter's tape and use some non-marring tools to pry it up. The only thing holding the spoiler on now is adhesive, and this takes a little while, so we may film a little bit of it, but we won't film the whole thing because it's going to take us a little while to do it. Once we get to where there's just adhesive on here, we'll film a little bit of the removing the adhesive, but we won't film all of it either. Just give you an idea of how to do it. And give me a minute to get it taped out, then we'll take a shot of the tape on it, and then we'll film again of us prying a little bit on it, and so on and so forth. Okay, we got the spoiler off. We ended up having to use a tool like this that I had to go get from my truck. It's a trim removal tool, and wedge it underneath like this because there's a lot of adhesive under the spoiler. And we actually separated the spoiler from 2 pieces at one point and had to go back and punt and get under the second part of the spoiler, which is closer to the car. And we finally got it off. You can see what it looks like now. Most of this is dirt with adhesive lines here and some here. So I'm gonna take some alcohol and clean this area off first, and then we'll try to remove the adhesive, which we'll film a little bit of that. But at first we'll get it cleaned up and see what we're working with. Okay, got this adhesive removal wheel from Amazon. I'll put the link and a picture of it in the description, or either on the video somewhere. And what you do is you take and put it on the adhesive and you run it kind of slow, and it takes it off. And we ain't gonna show the whole video of me doing this, but it just erases it. And then if you wipe it up, the finish is fine. We just tried a spot before we filmed it and wiped it up, and the finish is fine. We're gonna do this real quick and then show you the finished product. We got the existing spoiler off, got the adhesive off, cleaned it up really good, mocked up the new spoiler. As you can see, it's on here. We use this blue tape to find the center line of the new spoiler and the center line of the boot using the GPS antenna. And this is the center line of the spoiler. I think it measured 58, so we used 29 as our center, and we kind of got it mocked up. One thing about it is the spoiler rocks a little bit on the trunk. These things come from the factory and they expect you to put them on with using just 3M tape. We're going a little bit further, and we're going to use rib nuts and drill holes. And that is our plan. Use rib nuts, and we'll epoxy the rib nuts in case the carbon fiber splinters any. The epoxy will hold it together, plus it'll hold the rib nut in place better. I've set the rib nut compressor up to compress pretty flat, and it should draw the spoiler down pretty flat. Plus it'll have 3M tape under it, double. I bought some extra 3M tape, and we'll put 3M tape around the holes. I'm gonna cover all the extra holes with 3M tape anyway, because there's a bunch of holes in the boot, as you've seen earlier. I'm gonna cover all them with 3M tape so we don't get water down in the boot. And we're going to punch a hole in the holes for the bolts to go through where the rib nuts at with a hole puncher that was my papa's. He used in the cotton mill. Things work great. They punch leather with them, so they'll punch 3M tape, and as a tribute to him. And we'll we're not going to show this whole process, but let's hope it works out, because we did damage the old spoiler taking it off. We delaminated it from the base, so it's not going back on. And this one will have to work. It will work. And so we're gonna mock it up right now by placing some blue painter's tape on it, on front and back, to hold it in place, and then taking a marker and marking our holes, then finding the center of the holes, taking a pilot bit, and then taking our 9mm bit and popping holes in it, putting all our rib nuts in with epoxy on them, and letting them dry a little bit. We won't film all that. We'll film putting some rib nuts in, but we won't film all of it. But you can see we got it mocked up and what it's going to look like on the car. It's going to look great. And of course this one I hit the antenna, but I bought a little shorty antenna to go on it too, so we'll show putting it on and where I got it from and everything too. So that's just a little synopsis of what we got going on, and we'll get back with you when we got it taped out and everything and get ready to market. Okay, so what we did was we took 3M blue painter's tape, taped the spoiler in the right location. It's got a lip on the back. We kind of followed the contour of the car with the lip on the back. We kind of measured it. We got center tape to get our side to side right. And we put blue painter's tape on it to hold it in place. Raise the deck lid or trunk of the car. Went in the holes with this long marker and put a dot on the center of the holes. So we took a flashlight, and you may not be able to see it, but you can see we put a dot in the center of the holes. That's where we'll drill and put our rib nuts. We also done it in the deep holes too. It looks a little off because you have to, the way this spoiler is not contoured this way across the boot or trunk, it's going to have to be drawn up with the rib nuts and the 3M tape. So cross your fingers that this works. It's going to work. And so we're going to commence the drilling and putting in rib nuts now. What we'll do first is drill a small pilot hole with the bit. What we'll do with the bit, if this is the bit, we'll put a piece of tape real close so we don't drill very deep, and we'll drill a small hole down on the 9mm, which is what we need for the rib nut. We'll put a piece of tape so we don't drill very deep on the drill bit, bunch of tape, and we'll pop a hole there. Then we'll press the rib nut in there, maybe even have to do it twice to get it tight. So that's what will be next. Okay, as you can see, I got my tape on my drill bit. Drill the hole. This bit has a centering part on the front. Got one more to do over here. Okay, that's it for the pilot bit. I'm gonna have to go to the 9mm bit. Give me a second. 9mm bit. I'll put the link for them off of Amazon in the video somewhere. Time to make some holes. Alright, got these holes made. So we'll get back with you after I start doing rib nuts. Okay, I'm gonna put in a rib nut and let y'all watch. These things are a little aggravating. So what you do is put it in the hole with it already caulked. Don't mind my phone. You can turn it in a little bit. Cock it again. A little bit more and cock it just a little more. That'll lock it in place. And you run it out. That's the way rib nuts work. What we'll do is double check it and make sure it don't spin. So we'll stick a socket head cap screw in it. See if it turns. Make sure we can put some pressure on it. It don't spin. It don't. I put a good bit of pressure on it just now and it didn't spin. So good deal. There we go. That's how you do it. We'll finish the rest of them up off camera.
All right. We got the studs in with the rib nuts. These aren't the studs we're going to use. We're just using them for the guide holes to make sure its placement's right. We're going to wipe everything down with this adhesion promoter. Do the spoiler first, then the trunk lid. After that, throw the 3M tape on and get this thing installed. Spoiler's done. Once again, we're going to go on the trunk lid with the adhesion promoter. After that, right to install.
Okay, we've got 3M tape on the spoiler, the carbon fiber spoiler, as you can see. We opted to buy, it comes with some real skinny 3M tape. I bought a roll of the thick 3M tape. The contour of the trunk and the contour of the spoiler are two different things. So we got a gap of about that much on each end of the spoiler. We've allowed time for the epoxy on the rib nuts to dry, and hopefully we can draw that gap down. It's about 3/8 of an inch on the corners of the car here, on here, this side, and this side up a little bit. So I'm hoping that's where the bolts are at, with the rib nuts and the bolts are at. I'm hoping that we can draw that down, and then the 3M tape will help it adhere better. Like I say, these things come from American Muscle. If you're gonna buy one, and I'll put the item number and everything in the video somewhere. These things come from American Muscle, and they expect you to use 3M tape alone to put them on your car. I'm making this video to show you how to put them on using rib nuts and bolts. That's the whole reason for this video. American Muscle don't have a video putting this on your car. I don't know why, and they're not sponsoring me or anything to do this. I'm just doing it to help people out, so that if they want to run this spoiler on their car, that they can do it, and this is how they do it. You're going to spend more money on it by purchasing a rib nut tool, unless you're in a club and somebody has one, or you have a friend that has one. Then you just need to buy the rib nuts. I'm using 6mm hardware, so that's basically what come on the car anyway. So we're gonna peel the backing off the spoiler and give it a shot putting it on. We're not actually gonna film that because there's probably gonna be some cussing and stuff that you don't want to see on camera. So, but we will film the finished product. Okay, got the spoiler on with the 3N tape. You can see we got the 2 bolts in here. Just give you a look at how the spoiler looks with just the 3M tape. It pulled it down really well, so it holds really well with the 3M tape. But the rib nuts and the bolts are there for extra security, you know, over 100 miles an hour, which no one's going to be doing anyway. Of course, it's not a Mustang GT, but it's there for extra security to hold the spoiler on. Plus, the spoiler's not going to have force pushing it off this way. It's going to have downforce on it, and that's going to really be the key to keeping it on there. But we're going to put the other 2 bolts in real quick. Went on really well. Rib nuts is the way to go, especially with this spoiler. I'm really impressed with the way it went on. I'll take a picture of it on the car in a minute when I get the other bolts put in. Trunk goes back together in reverse. You put the mat up here, the trunk trim, pull this through, pull your 2 harnesses through, put this cover on first, then put these grommets in. They screw in, and you know, put these covers on, then put your 9 retaining clips in. And we won't film doing that because you've seen us taking, well, we showed you how we took it apart. So we won't film that, but it goes back together in reverse. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about how to do that. So if you have any problems and can't find one, let me know in the comments. I'll find you one and I'll send it to you. Okay guys, I know this is going to be kind of a lengthy video, some short clips of stuff, but the spoiler's on the car. 3M tape works wonders, but again, reinforcing it with the rib nuts and the 6mm M6s is the way to go. It's got 1 here, 2 here, 1 there. Looks great on the car. Again, remember you got to align it left to right, front to back. And this spoiler is actually off probably a 1/16 to an 1/18 of an inch this direction. You never be able to tell it if I didn't tell you. So not really a big deal. Looks good on the car. I was going to put a shorty antenna on it to because I thought the spoiler was going to hit the antenna when I mocked it up on the car with the old spoiler on it, the original spoiler. Turns out it don't hit it. So I'm not putting that crappy antenna on here. So, because this one will pick up better. The one thing about the short antenna is it don't pick up as good as the factory antenna, but it is a carbon fiber antenna. Who knows, I might put it on there anyway. Never know. This pretty much wraps this video up. Something we didn't film a while ago that we did. We went ahead and took this off, added the black GT to the back. Something else we're going to do while we're here today, while I got some help or got somebody to do it for me, is put the blacked out decals that I've had for over a year on the car, which is the pony in the front blacked out and the black GT emblems. I got those from CJ Pony Parts years ago. They're pretty simple to put on, and we got all the stuff here today. And I'd like to thank my sister-in-law for letting us use her place, her garage. I have a carport, gravel bottom. It was supposed to rain today. As you can see, as bright as it is, it's like 80, I think 77 degrees here. We've been sweating inside of here. And so we didn't use my place. We decided to use hers in case it rained. Shout out to her. And spoiler install went well. Comment, like my channel, and comment, hit the thumbs up, give me some support, and that'd be all for this video. Like I said, I may shoot some videos of the putting the emblems on. I didn't do this one because we kind of had lunch in between and everything. So, but I appreciate y'all viewing.